Today I'm going to talk about the violence in Jamaica, the crime wave that suddenly have been hitting international airwaves about the island of Jamaica. Being a Jamaican makes me qualified to comment on these issues, and the simple fact that I'm no stranger to Jamaica and I'm no stranger to the violence. I was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and I grew up in some of the most volatile and violent neighborhoods in Kingston. That fact gave me a lot of inside knowledge and how it works. Let me start by saying crime in itself is a commodity. In other words, there have always been people that benefit from the crime. We all know Jamaica is famous for marijuana. Jamaica is famous for white sand beaches. Jamaica is famous for its good food and its sunshine. But one thing we do know as a fact, Jamaica doesn't make guns. How do I feel about the violence that's occurring in Jamaica at the moment? Violence anywhere is terrible. Most of us, most citizens in third world countries, including Jamaica, we're nothing more than pawn pieces in a big game of chess. What that means is our life doesn't really matter. As much as the propaganda might be spreading, as much as newspaper might be headlining on the fact that the murder rate is this or the murder rate is that, you have to understand that newspaper itself benefit from negative news. If every day a newspaper should highlight the goodness of any country, it would never sell. People aren't interested in pleasantry. People are interested in drama. Surprising to me, Montego Bay, all of a sudden, in the last couple of years, has become this spot of violence. I mean, when I was growing up in Jamaica, Kingston was the violence capital. Kingston was where people get killed. But at the same time, born and raised in Kingston, one thing I do know for a fact, people don't get murdered for no particular reason. Some people who live in the ghettos of Jamaica, they are the most safest people in the island because people only get killed for reasons. Jamaicans might be ignorant. Illiteracy might be very high in the Jamaican society, and that itself is also a commodity. The slower and dumber and ignorant people are, there are others that benefit from it because knowledge is power, education is power, intelligence is power. And if Jamaicans should turn around suddenly and become a society where intelligence is ranked among the highest, you'll realize that violence and murders and crimes would diminish. I'm not saying it would eradicate the whole violent streak from Jamaica, but it would radically diminish. When you look into the crimes that's in Jamaica, the crimes are now when I was a child growing up in Jamaica, crimes are now rocketed in areas that we used to see as country areas. There are crimes now in Montego Bay. Okay, Montego Bay became Jamaica's second city quite a while now. But there are also war and violence, gun violence in places like Clarendon. Is it a conspiracy? Who knows? One thing I do know, if you put fat on the floor and leave it, ants will follow it. What I'm trying to say is, if someone wants to create havoc in Jamaica, where the illiteracy rate is so high, it's very easy. All you gotta do is get a whole bunch of guns into a neighborhood and leave it. You don't have to give anyone any instruction. People are going to use it. I mean, guns are made for one purpose and one purpose only: to injure people, to maim or kill another human being. And if you put guns and bullets in the approximate position of idiots or fools, They will use it. I mean, it is there. I mean, let's use, for example, the crack cocaine epidemic that was in the United States of America. All the CIA did was make sure that crack cocaine got into the inner city, and it disrupted life. It ruined lives. I don't think they thought, let it be black people or let it be Mexican people or Hispanic people. They just put it in a neighborhood, and if you put it there, people are going to use it because one set of people will see it as an opportunity to make money, and another set of people see it as an opportunity to get high and escape problem, whether it's temporary or whatever. It's kind of like the same thing for guns in Jamaica. If you put guns in Jamaica, in the neighborhood, I mean, let's face it, where do the guns come from? Let's say I'm a person living in Jamaica and my cousin sent me a gun from foreign. Let's say that, for example. I mean, how many bullets could my cousin have sent me with this one gun? After I use up all my bullets, where do I get the re-up? Where do I get my second batch? There's no gun shops in Jamaica. There's no supermarket in Jamaica where I can just go and say, sell me a pack of 50 for a 38 pistol or a 9mm handgun. There's no such thing. So these guns and these ammunitions are coming from somewhere. The reason behind it, who knows? Politics is just one of those things that goes deep. And when I say politics, I'm not referring to JLP and PNP only. Politics is the dynamics of individuals that wants to control or wants to manipulate a system. It could be targeting, let's say, for example, this is not facts, I'm just using this as an example. It could be targeting the Jamaica tourism. Let's say Jamaica makes a lot of money from its tourism. People rush to Jamaica year after year after year to get a whiff of the island, some of its sunshine and its white sand beaches and so on. And let's say someone wants to shake down Jamaica for some of its tourism money, and Jamaica say no, for example. There's going to be a retaliation, you know, and in what way someone could retaliate? Let me find a way to get a whole bunch of guns into Jamaica. Montego Bay would be ideal. Why? Kingston is the capital of Jamaica, but let's face it, it's not really a tourist spot. It's not really somewhere that tourists go. People usually go to Ocho Rios, Montego Bay, Negril, Runaway Bay. And which airport do they use? Donald Sangster Airport. And where is Donald Sangster Airport? Montego Bay. So if we create havoc in Montego Bay and make the crime and violence be a reality in Montego Bay, and these make headlines, and then people abroad who was considering visiting Jamaica for one reason or another hear the news and go, oh, there's violence in Jamaica, there's violence in Montego Bay. People are not going to stop and ask, where exactly in Montego Bay? Is it by my resort or not? No, people don't care. People just want to hear, where is the violence? And is it in Montego Bay? Yes, it's in Montego Bay. So that one or two families that was supposed to come to Jamaica change their mind. So it could be something like that. I'm not saying it is that. I'm just saying that Jamaicans, the law enforcement of Jamaica, the citizens of Jamaica, especially mothers and children whose parents are getting killed or, you know, getting caught up in all this gun violence. Jamaican people, I need y'all to smarten up. I need y'all to wake up. I need y'all to read more. I need y'all to think more, think outside the box. Know that opportunity is not the greatest in Jamaica. I mean, I'm currently not living in Jamaica for that same reason. Do I love my country? With all my heart. I love the fact that I was born in paradise. Did I always love my country? No, I didn't always love Jamaica. Why? Because I was a kid once who was brainwashed and hear that Jamaica is not the greatest place to be born. And foreign, whether it's Canada, America, or England, is the next best thing to heaven. And I actually bought into that. I bought into the fact that This country, Jamaica, where I was born, is not a good place, and I can't wait to go to foreign. I've been living abroad for quite a while now. I've lived in several countries, and I just want my Jamaican people to know that don't believe the hype. Opportunities might be better, might be in abundance in America, in Canada, in England, in Europe, but nowhere is actually better than Jamaica. Nowhere. All these countries that I just named, all these regions that I just named, has their problems. The United States of America, you can just choose any given state that is considered a metropolitan. I am sure if you measure the crime rate to the whole island of Jamaica to any one of these particular states like Illinois, Pennsylvania, New York, Florida, the murder rate would put Jamaica to shame. But do we hear about this? No, because America's media control the airwaves. So whatever American media say, that goes. And a little country like Jamaica, if America should say it's a bad place, then we all believe it's a bad place. I mean, I was born in Jamaica. I was born in the ghettos of Jamaica. The struggle was there. I've seen my mother struggle to feed us. I've seen my mother struggle to find a place for us to live. And she couldn't wait to get out of Jamaica for a quote-unquote better life. Did we actually find a better life when we migrated? Not necessarily. Most of us migrate to foreign countries, and then when we discover that it's not that better, it's kind of too late. We already gave up everything in Jamaica. We already moved to this country, and a few little minor things are better. So we kind of like stick it out because we don't want to go back home with our tail between our legs saying we didn't make it. Because there's this old notion that once you leave Jamaica and you go to these foreign countries, you are supposed to make it. You're supposed to come back to Jamaica rich and be able to buy everything inside. Don't believe the hype. That is not so. Expat Jamaicans that are living abroad, we struggle as well. We struggle. We are only living in foreign. We are not having life that better. And Jamaica is not the worst place on earth. And to all the people who consider visiting Jamaica, look closer into the details. Everything that's published isn't necessarily real. Well, this is 2018. Last year, the big thing was fake news. And fake news is everywhere. I'm not saying violence is not in Jamaica. Violence has always been in Jamaica, even when I was growing up there. But what I do know, people don't just walk up on anybody and just shoot them. If you look deeper into these crimes that's going on in Clarendon and in Montego Bay, and you ask, hey, why did Trevor shoot Leroy? You're going to find out. There is a reason. The reason may be ridiculous, the reason may hold no substance, but usually there are reasons. What I'm saying, if you keep yourself to yourself or you choose a company you keep in Jamaica, you're not going to get killed. You're not going to get shot. It's still a safe place to go.